Hi everybody. Welcome. Today is Wednesday. We are 3 days out from the Gardening and Self-Sufficiency Workshop with JAHealing. Make sure you pre-register. Check out JAHealing.com or go to their social media pages, Instagram or Facebook, and you can pre-register for our Gardening and Self-Sufficiency Workshop. We had one last weekend and we have 5 consecutive weekends here in a row. So this Saturday, July 31st at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, that's when we're going to have it. Today I'm talking about Canada is exotic. If you didn't know, I live in Canada. I have a very lush yard right now. Everything is green. I look like I live in a rainforest or something. Sometimes it feels like that, and that's awesome. But that's not why I was saying Canada is exotic. But yes, you can see we have lots of green. Green. It is exotic. It's nice and hot. It's been humid today. My gals are acting crazy, my little chickens. Tomorrow's supposed to rain again. Lots of rain. Gosh, we get lots of rain. But today I am trying to get ready, like I said yesterday, for fall and winter. I'm doing my fall planting. I'm organizing things. I've been, excuse my pool. That's where I soak plants and things. I've been transplanting my little guys that are my tropicals today. So today I concentrated on tropicals. I had a bunch in pots that were together, that were all seeded together. I had Majesty palms all together, too many of them, in one pot. Thai papaya trees, yuzu citrus, key lime. Here, I did a bunch of stuff today. All my granadillas, they've seen better days. I've been neglecting them because the other planting and food planting has been taking precedence. Harvesting, getting things together. I'm still planting some perennials in my permaculture garden. I've got a lot of things going on. So the tropicals, they kind of, sit by the wayside and they are happy. They're in the sun and they're, getting what they need. But they'd be happier in bigger pots. Some of them are getting a lot bigger. These ones are just the small ones. I have some big ones that need to be transplanted into larger pots even. And it's because I'm thinking about fall and winter. Because when that happens, I bring all of my tropicals in. Of course, because it's going to snow here. So I bring them into the greenhouse, and I need them to be happy over the whole entire winter, all the way through like May. May is when I can finally get them out. They get a lot of nice sun in the spring before my oak tree leaves out. So it's nice and sunny and very warm in the greenhouse for the most part. I do have heaters, thank goodness, in there. If I didn't, I wouldn't be able to have my tropicals out there. Everything would die. So that's what I was talking about today. Exotic Canada, all my exotics. I have lychees and key limes, and I have an acacia and lead trees and my tamarinds and, all these little lovely things that I've started, all my experiments and my challenges. I like to call them challenges. I like to try and get my tropicals up and keep them alive through the winter here in Canada. Obviously, they're not going to survive outside, but if I can bring them in and I can let them live long enough, I might just get some fruit. Like, for instance, this year, I actually have a passion fruit. Check it out. On one of my little vines. So she had a bunch of flowers. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? Let me see. She had a lot of flowers. Here she is. Yeah. And she's made herself a little passion fruit. So it happens. I do get fruit on miscellaneous trees. I have citrus trees that are creating citrus for me every year. I have a pomegranate tree that's creating pomegranates. So it's just kind of hit and miss, and it's a good challenge. So other than your regular permaculture garden and all of your annuals and your food production, my passion is trying to get these tropicals started and keep them alive and see if I can't get those fruits here in Canada. We have a very limited supply of tropical fruit, even available at our grocery stores. Although in recent years, I've seen some increase of some cool things. But for the most part, it's pretty typical stuff in our grocery stores, and you can't get access to any of this stuff. So if you ever want to try it, if you're not traveling and you ever want to try it, you have to grow it yourself and hope that you can actually get fruit one day. So that's what I'm doing. This is my exotic Canada. That's what I should have called it. My exotic Canada. I have a lot of really interesting trees and fruit trees and fruit bushes and wild stuff that I've been trying to propagate for years. And every year I get a little bit better. Some things I've been trying to seed for years, and I can't seem to get that sucker up. I've tried so many different ways. This year I had a lot of success, even on things that I struggled with for years. This year I got Indian gooseberry up finally. In fact, I got like 5 or 6 of them up. Maybe it was just the quality of the fruit, the seeds that I got. Maybe in the ones I did before just weren't viable seeds, so that could be possible too. I don't know what I'm doing differently, but I'm getting a lot more things up this year, so maybe I'm just getting better quality seeds. Who knows? Who knows what's going on, but I'm glad they are. And it's just such a nice surprise. You go into your greenhouse and you're like, oh my gosh, I got this up. I got some blackberry jam plants up. I have ice cream bean this year. Just a lot of cool stuff. But do your research. There's so many things that we have not been exposed to. We're very sheltered here, surprisingly, in North America for being so advanced in such a, advanced 2 countries, Canada and the United States. We're really behind. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I've been out here working all day, so I don't really feel gorgeous, but thank you. So yeah, it's pretty cool to get some new and interesting things up. It's amazing. It makes your day, and it keeps me going, especially throughout the winter when it's the winter drudgery. It gives me something to baby outside, so I have to go check on my tropicals and make sure they're all okay. And you don't want to overwater in the winter because then they tend to get root rot, and it's just a real balance. So it's a whole nother way of gardening, and it's just another thing for your repertoire, especially if our climatic zones are increasing at a rate that they are. We got bumped up from a 5B to a 6, and I'm able to grow things that I wasn't able to before. I'm able to push the boundary of a 7 now instead of pushing the boundary of a 6. And I mulch and I protect things, and I'm able to get things to grow and stay alive where otherwise I wouldn't have been able to before. So who knows? Keep those beautiful tropicals alive, and maybe one day you can actually plant them outside. Who knows? We'll see, won't we? We'll all see. Anyway, I do hope to see you guys. It's a really great workshop, and it's a lot of fun. Like I keep saying, I'm not just speaking at you. I'm answering your questions. I'm showing you stuff. We're interacting as I go. It's very student-based, and it's very student-led almost, based upon your questions and who shows up that day to come and hang out. I do have things that I want to go over for everybody that I think are important. We're talking about, again, growing your own food, self-sufficiency, permaculture. We're going to talk about compost this week. A lot of different things. One of the ladies wants me to just talk about permaculture, the whole permaculture situation for one whole workshop. So maybe that will be next weekend's, just talking about permaculture. I'm not on a farm. I'm on a suburban lot. I have neighbors all around me, but I am farming my property as best I can. I've taken everything out that's not producing anything for me, medicine or food-wise, and it's gone. I need to make my property more productive if we're going to be able to try and survive off the food that we are growing. Not just in case the crap hits the fan, but also it's providing us with organic food that I know for sure is organic because I grew it and no one else has touched it. I know I haven't put chemicals and all kinds of crazy things on it. The only thing I can't control is the rainwater and the soil. So the environmental conditions, you are still, we're stuck with that. But anything else that goes in the soil or on them, I'm not putting on. So I know I'm getting the healthiest food I can possibly provide my family with. The stuff I'm getting at the store, I know a lot of them are GMOs. I know a lot of them have had pesticides and herbicides on them, all kinds of chemicals. I don't know how early they were picked, how long they've traveled, how many people have touched them. I have no idea. So the stuff I'm growing has better flavor. It has better color. It just feels better. It's just better. Our household has been illness free for years. I mean, we're doing really well based upon what we're doing. So we're getting a lot of great greens in us and healthful foods that are full of nutrition. And that's important. So important. So aside from the fact that it's a survival crops that I'm planting, it's also that it's helping us survive and be healthy, right? It's the organic nature of them. Knowing that you have a backyard full of food is a big deal, especially if money is tight, if, say, stimulus checks are not coming next year or whenever, or you're not eligible for them. Who knows? And who knows what other disaster might hit. It might not even be this, I don't want to see this C word, what's been going on this whole last year. It might not even be that. It might be a tornado. It might be a flood. It might be who knows what. But at least you know you're able to get out there, and hopefully your plants will come back if you have perennials, if you're growing in a permaculture way. Hopefully everything wasn't a big problem. God only knows what's ahead of us, right? Just be prepared. So I'm saving seeds. I'm in the midst of harvest. I need to harvest. Look at this whole yard. I've got to harvest. And I've got to process. So I've got to can, and I'm going to be dehydrating, and I'm going to be fermenting, and I'm going to be pickling, and I'm going to do a whole bunch of stuff. And saving my seeds, that's important too for next year. Things that aren't perennial or biennial or won't seed themselves. So you got to be prepared. You've got to be organized. See if this is a lifestyle for you. Come hang out on Saturday. It's not just for the ladies, it's for the men too, and for couples. Anyone who wants to show up and learn more about living in this way, homesteading and growing your own food, and trying to make yourself the system instead of being more reliant on the system, which is how we've been, right? So come ask questions. See if it's a viable situation for you, if this is something that you want to endeavor to do. And if not, then hey, at least you asked and you tried and you saw. Or maybe you might take some of the ideas and put them into good use. It's a lot of work. I mean, it's not just all fun and games and rainbows and unicorns. It's definitely not. I'm not just taking pictures all day and, frolicking in my crops. It is work. It's sweat, blood, and tears. But I'm doing it for my family, and I'm doing it to make sure that I can teach my child how she can grow food and how she can survive. That is, to me, the most important lessons that you can pass down to the next generation. And I think a lot of these lessons have been fallen by the wayside. We've been relying upon a system that is not going to be serving us at some point, or the bottom is going to fall out. So we've got to get back to basics. We've got to get back to the earth, and we've got to learn this stuff, and we've got to apply this stuff. Knowing it and applying it are two totally different things. Like I keep telling people, it's fine and dandy to, Google something and look something up. But what happens if that goes down? You have no knowledge that you've already applied, that you have here stored in your brain. You're not able to look it up. You have to have applied it and experienced it for yourself to know what to do. And that's a huge deal. Big deal. So if you have experience doing it, you won't forget it, right? It's just like having labs or, doing those, all those experiments in school. They want you to actually physically do it, not just read about it, not just do a test on it, not just memorize it. They want you to actually apply your knowledge, right? So it's important in life in all ways, shapes, and forms. So I'm just, babbling to you guys, but Canada can be exotic. Grow your exotics. Try some new fun tropical things. I have lots of citrus. They do well. They're happy in the greenhouse. As long as it doesn't freeze, they don't get snow and ice and frozen. They're happy. There's a lot of things that will do very well in my greenhouse. Some things are a little bit more tricky, and I probably should have brought them in this last year, but again, it's all an experiment. I don't know until I try it. So now I know a little bit better. I'm going to do things a little bit differently, but there's a lot of things that'll be happy in there, and I don't have to stress this year. Whereas last year I stressed the whole winter every day running out there. It was my first year doing the tropicals out there, so Canada is tropical. I have a lot of tropical looking plants that makes us feel like, you know, we really had a great tropical, hot, warm summer, because we only have a few months of this beautiful weather, and we want to make hay while the sun shines. So I want to feel like I'm on a tropical island if I'm unable to get to a tropical island. So that's what I try and accomplish for the family. Anyway, I do hope you join us this weekend. Hook up with JAHealing.com or go to their social media, pre-register for the events. I hope to see you there. All right? Come in with your questions and your dilemmas and an open mind. All right? Cool beans. Be a champion in your kitchen or on your homestead, wherever you are today. Bye. Thanks for tuning in, guys.